Hey everyone, it's me Wagolo here, and if you didn't already know, I'm trans, aka transgender. Yeah. So I've said so on Twitter, I've said so in community posts, live streams, Discord, basically everywhere besides an actual video on the channel. The trans flag colors are even in my icon. It's the same exact colors that are in the flag, so it's been there all along. Yeah, I just wanted to discuss my personal journey and how being trans has personally affected my content and comfortability in the object show community. I guess I'll start by giving some background. Late 2017 and early 2018 is when I ultimately realized my gender identity as a woman. Throughout the teen years of my life, I became increasingly uncomfortable with my appearance and knew something was wrong, but I didn't know the exact terminology, so I spent an extensive period of time researching and understanding who I am. In 2018, I started the coming out process, starting with my friends and telling my family in later years. In 2020, after the lockdown, not object lockdown, that was the worst joke I ever wrote, I don't know why it's even in the script. Anyway, I started seeing a doctor, had sessions with a psychologist, and began the transition process. I came out publicly online around this time as well. Now let me move into how being trans has affected my content and how being publicly out as trans in this community has personally affected me. When Old 8 released, I think that was June 2018, that was around the same time that I became confident that I was trans and started telling my closest friends. That's also a main reason why Object Lockdown was cancelled. Similarly to changing my gender identity, I felt changing what I was working on would help me get away from the parts of me that made me the most uncomfortable. I joined the OSC in 2012 and was really young at the time, and I shared a lot more personal information than I probably should have. Traces of that still remain through my content, and yeah, that's basically why I shifted away from Object Lockdown. I also didn't like viewer votes in the lockdown gimmick, but that's off topic here. Being trans in this community has given me a safe space to be myself while also presenting its own issues. I think the most prevalent for me personally is the reception Olo 1 initially received. Paintpal's voice was given a formant, which is basically like a vocal effect, to alleviate my own gender dysphoria. When that episode was being made, I still hadn't come out to my parents, so I feared voice training would confuse them and I didn't want them to start questioning me. Before I came out, I tried to hide my true self because I didn't want anyone suspecting that I might be transgender. It was hard for me to grapple with myself at the time. Anyway, I was able to voice Paint Palette how I always wanted to in Olo 2 onward, which alleviated all those comments I got about, like, basically complaining about her voice, saying it's like a robot. Like, when I uploaded Olo 1, half the comments were probably about her voice, and it really made me upset just because there was nothing I could do about it. Even still today, people share the opinion that Object Lockdown is better than Object Lockout, and I know it's an opinion and I respect it, but it cuts deep for me personally because during Old's creation I was living as almost a completely different person. It's an entire disconnect and I just hate thinking back on that period of my life. I respect anyone who likes Object Lockdown more. Olo is completely different in tone and is really a really different show. Hopefully the old shorts I'm starting soon will alleviate that though. But as a creator, I just always wish that my content was liked by everyone, and it's hard knowing that people like episodes that made it 13 years old better than my current projects. Why I really wanted to make this video though is because my identity still isn't clear to everybody. Occasionally I still get comments asking me what gender I am and I have to clarify, others use the wrong pronouns by accident. Voice doesn't equal gender, and the voice isn't something that magically changes for trans women. Hormones doesn't affect the voice for us. But anyway, after being publicly out as trans online for 2 years now, it still hurts to see these comments from my viewers that don't know about my identity. So yeah, I'm a trans woman, she, her pronouns, that's me. If you don't know anyone who is trans and have only heard sensational news headlines about us, I've linked some resources in the description so that you can educate yourself. Feel free to unsubscribe if you're not comfortable with who I am, but I am sincerely thankful for this community at large for being so supportive and kind. Thank you so much. You're great. Now it's the end card, and I'm kind of tired of talking, so there's some videos over there. Watch them if you want. That's all from me. Bye-bye.